Welcome to Selnar's Minis. Today, I am producing the last full-length video for the year of 2024. I would really appreciate it if you could hit the like button, leave me a comment, or subscribe to my channel, as it will help my channel grow and reach more people. As always, paint fearlessly. It's just paint. You can fix any mistakes. So this is not going to be my typical video in which I will be going over how I'm painting this model, what paints I'm using, what ratios, so that you can paint along or at least learn as I am painting. And if it's not going to be my normal video, I'm sure your question is, so what is this video about? And that's a fair enough question. This video is actually going to be a review of this channel in 2024. And part of that is going over, what I did, how I did, as far as like how I felt I did. Some things that I learned and some things I can do better on. And then after we're done going over that, I am going to talk about the plans for this channel in 2025. So to start off with, I guess we should talk about 2024. 2024 was probably my least productive year since I've started doing YouTube content. Now, what does that translate to in number wise? Keep in mind, this channel has only really been open pretty much since 2023. I have, according to my statistics, 108 videos. That's all my videos, shorts and full length, or I should say longer length. I don't know if full length is actually a term I should be using. Anything over the 3-minute mark is longer length videos. So currently in 2024 I produced 36 YouTube shorts. These are all less than a minute, though I do believe technically now you can go up to 3 minutes for YouTube shorts. When I first started, it was a minute or less, and I'm kind of sticking to that because I find that if it's longer than that, most people are not interested. So I'm trying to grab their attention and divert them to my longer content by seeing the shorts. It's kind of like that advertisement that you see that makes you go, I want to get that thing or watch that thing, and that's what those are. So 36 of those out of the 108 total videos are my YouTube shorts for this year. Now, the more disappointing number, and the one that kind of bothers me the most, is my longer length videos. I only produced 11, and I'm counting this video in that number currently, because by the time I finish this, it will still be 2024, and it will count. So, but only 11. Which means I produce less than one full-length video or longer-length video per month. And my goal was to try to do one, if not more, a month. So, yeah, I'm a little disappointed in that. Am I terribly disappointed? No, it's not the end of the world. But at the same time, it means it's something I got to work on. Another statistics I can look at that I was able to get out of the system was how many new subscribers I had in 2024. I currently have 129 subscribers as of this video. However, I do know there were several times where I hit 130 and then someone dropped off, and then someone new added, and then someone dropped off. Unfortunately, what I can't get from YouTube is how many new subscribers I got and how many I lost during the year. It only gives me my net total. And in that regards, I gained 43 new subscribers. So it's some growth, but not as much as I would like. That is directly related to the number of videos that I'm producing though. YouTube shorts, I probably need to at least double that in order to grab more attention. And I need to at least bring this number from 11 to minimally, I would say 15 to 24 per year. There is one other thing that I didn't really talk about that's part of YouTube, and that's YouTube community. This is a spot in which you can put up polls, just give updates, share pictures of what you're working on. I really didn't take too much advantage of that until halfway through the year this year. And even then, I think I only posted once every 2, maybe every 3 weeks. So that is something I may want to look into as well to help kind of grow the channel and spark interest in what I'm doing. So now that I have shared the hard facts of how many videos and how many new subscribers, you're probably thinking that I am not happy with the progress that I had in 2024. And quite frankly, that's not true. I am happy with the amount that I did get done. To think otherwise would be self-defeatist. Here's what I have to say about that. There are a lot of factors that go into YouTube video creation. It's time, it's energy, it's a lot of thinking about what you want to say and how you want to say it. And while I do very well in talking to people in real life, I have a hard time recording my thoughts for prosperity. I don't know what it is about recording how I'm doing something that makes it so much more difficult than if I actually just talk to somebody as I'm doing it. And in my brain, there's a difference between doing it in real life and filming. Now, with that in mind, yes, I said I would like to do more longer length videos. That's true. I said I was somewhat disappointed. That is also true, but I'm also very happy with what I was able to accomplish here in 2024. So how do I reconcile these two differences? Well, I have to look at it and realize that even though I want to produce things on YouTube, I still have to live my life. That includes going to work, doing a full-time job, coming home, decompressing from work, making food, and sometimes rest. That thing that everybody tells you that you should do is a thing you should still do even if you do a YouTube channel. Now, with all that in mind, what did I do well? I believe that I did well in the fact that I painted a variety of subjects. And now you're like, well, but mostly it's fantasy. Da, 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 da. Yes, it is mostly fantasy. But the thing is, it's a variety of different types of miniatures from different companies. It's also the fact that I taught myself how to do the filming, how to do the audio, how to do the editing. I will say that I was very fortunate in that I have met people who do have a background in filming and in audio for videos who were very helpful in giving me insight on how to do these things better than I was doing them previously. It's a small shout out to several people who are in my miniatures painting class that I do at Board Bards every Friday, or almost every Friday. And without them, I don't think my videos would have gotten better. I was also very fortunate after getting this advice and having a wonderful significant other who gifted me with a new microphone, which has allowed my audio to sound clearer and more crisp, and for that I am grateful for it as well. So if you don't know, all my videos are done with my iPhone. I don't have any other camera currently that I'm comfortable in using. I say that because I do have a camera, but I haven't tried using it yet. But everything is done with my iPhone. It's transferred over to my computer, and then I use my Adobe Rush program to put it all together and use this wonderful microphone to do all of my recording. So in that regards, that kind of comes into what I learned for 2024. And that's basically how to film. So apparently I was filming in the wrong angle. And I learned to turn it around, which is why you have this nice, wonderful, crisp looking field currently on the screen. Previously, I would have tried to figure out how to change the aspect so you could get a better look at the model. You can look at some of my older videos and you will see that. The sound makes it easier for people to hear what I'm saying, and hopefully a little less mumbly and more pronounced. Hear me enunciate my words as I normally do without having a microphone right next to my mouth. Technology and progress. So along with the microphone and the progress of technology that provides me, I'm also very slowly learning all the cool things I can do with Adobe Rush. And some of the things that I'd like to do would require me to pay more than I'm currently paying. I don't know if I really want to do that, but there are some other things I can do that are pretty cool, like adjusting the volume so you can hear my voice a little bit better, lowering the sound of the music, and how to add music into these videos. All these things have been a benefit in the long run, instead of going to YouTube and then adding music afterwards and having even longer of a load time as it composed and compiles everything together to make it fit. So I have indeed learned a lot over the last year on how to do videos, and I think it shows in that each time I produce a slightly better video than the time before. You will learn something from that. Okay, so before we move on to what I'm going to do in 2025, I am going to talk about one more thing in reference to 2024. And I'm going to start this off with a quote from Gimli from The Lord of the Rings, Return of the King movie. And it's the scene in which Legolas got rid of all of the Haradrim soldiers on the palanquin on the elephant, and he puts an arrow into the elephant's skull, killing it. It drops, he slides down its trunk and lands in front of Gimli, and Gimli says, "It still only counts as one." So I had several models this year that were larger than human sized. I had some cyclopses. I had, I believe, a giant, a dragon, a couple other things, and unfortunately they only still count as one model. And so this number is going to sound a little bit less than the number of models that I did in 2023, but I want you to know that all the models I did in 2023 were all human-sized or smaller. Okay? So in 2023, I painted 141 models. This year, as I finish up 3 bases that I'm going to count as a model because they're complex, is 133. Not bad. Not bad. 8 less, but several larger models. Again, I am not unhappy about this, but it can always be improved. So how are we going to do that in conjunction with the plans that I have for 2025 for this channel? I have a tentative plan for 2025. Actually, it's more like an outline. It's an outline because I find that whenever I make rigid, I'm going to do these plans, they never work out. Why, you ask? It's pretty simple. It's, Dr. Murphy's law, in which if anything can go wrong, it will. And so I have learned over many years that I don't make solid plans because it's better to have something that is able to flow and adjust as time goes on. So here's my tentative plan, my outline for the following year. I have a class that I teach 3 out of 4 Fridays of every month, currently at Board Bard Games. I planned in 2024 to produce a video for every class that I taught in order to have something for the students to reference to so they don't have to try to memorize it. They don't have to worry about losing a piece of paper or having to wing it again. Now, sometimes that works. Winging it is fun, trust me. I never do that at all, ever. But it's always nice to have something to reference to. I currently am lacking, I believe, 4 videos for that class. I have 5, but I'm missing 4. So that is a good place to start in trying to produce more videos for this channel. In other words, make up the loss in videos. So I need to record 4 videos to catch up to where we're currently at in the classes. By the time I get to the 4th video, I probably will need to do another 1 or 2. That's fine. It is definitely one way I can increase the amount of content found in the channel. I also have as a bullet point in this outline to do videos that are not quite as long. And what I mean by that is I kind of painted myself in a corner, and when I was trying to paint the Pyrogeist from Games Workshop's Warcry, Prior, and Flood box set, in that it was 8 models, but I got so complex and so worried about how the film was going that I haven't actually finished filming that, and I have not actually finished those models. Also something I can do, but I'm going to try to make it less complicated for myself. And by doing that, I think I might do like I'm doing here in today's video, just painting 1 model, but not take as much time doing it. This video is a little bit longer because I wanted time to talk about what I wanted to do with the channel. In the future, I would like to do some painting tutorials or painting videos in which I'm only painting 1 model and maybe work my way up to 3 models max in order to make it much more efficient and less stressful for myself. Thus also allowing me to put out more content, both YouTube short wise and longer format. So that is bullet point number 2. Make my videos less complex for myself and easier to do. Now, it also helps that I've learned how to film better and which way I should be using my phone when I film. Also helps that I have a new, microphone to help me with sound. It also helps that I've had some advice from people. All these things matter, but ultimately the idea is to get to that 15 to 20 videos a year. Hopefully more than that, but that's the minimum I want to do for this next year. So there are 2 ideas right there that I can do to help the channel grow. Now, I'm going to move on to bullet point number 3, to my rough outline of a plan this channel forward. And that is to work on filming myself making terrain. Currently, I have started the basis of a board for playing any number of different games on. The size doesn't matter right now, it's just the idea of. And I think it would be really good to show that process from someone who is not a well-established terrain maker, but wants to provide terrain for the miniatures in the games he's playing. I like to play large army games such as Kings of War, Oathmark, Warhammer the Old World. Those are some games I want to play more of, but I need terrain and a board to play it on. Just as important though, and even more so because you need more terrain for this sort of game, I love skirmish games. So we're talking Mordheim, Death Wizards, Space Station Zero, Necromunda, Frostgrave, Rangers of Shadow Deep, and Elder Scrolls Call to Arms, just to name a few. I have other games I'd like to play as well, but these are just ones that I'm just thinking of that I need terrain for. Yes, I have some terrain. Some of it's already pre-painted. Some of it I need to paint. I could show me painting those as terrain, but I also want to show me making terrain, because I feel that part of the hobby is not just painting the miniatures and playing the games. It's also making the terrain that you're proud of to put on the table and use. This is a source, potentially, for more videos. Even if it's just short videos, like YouTube shorts, of me just working on things, showing what I'm doing. These are all things to just draw people in and make them engaged. And I want them to be engaged because I want to share what I'm doing and how I'm doing it so people can do it themselves. So that's bullet point number 3, and how to make more content for this channel in 2025. The 4th bullet point on my rough outline of a plan is more of a 3-part. So it would be like 4A, 4B, and 4C. And this falls more into doing a battle report or filming myself and other people playing a game for you to enjoy. This one is going to be a little bit rougher to kind of make happen, only in the sense of I have to have someone else or several other people participate and be willing to be filmed. I have a few people that I think would be willing to do that. I have a few people who may be like, sure, but and that's okay. Part 4A would be like filming games like Kings of War, Warhammer the Old World, Age of Sigmar, Oathmark, Warcry, and Warhammer Underworlds. These are all versus games. You need an opponent to be able to play, and they have to be willing to be on film. I am never going to film and share something in which somebody is not comfortable doing that. But they can be fun. I've definitely watched several battle reports on YouTube that I thought were very well done. It would also be a learning curve for me. Like, filming that sort of back and forth is way different than sitting in front of a camera that's pointed down and painted like you see here on the screen currently. Am I up for the challenge? Sure. Will there be a lot of mistakes? Absolutely. But I will learn stuff and it will get better. I think that those would be fun, and I would really like to do that, just to share with people even games that they normally don't see on YouTube. I don't think I've seen an Oathmark battle report yet. Not to say it doesn't exist, but I haven't come across one. I don't see as much Age of Sigmar Warcry, specifically Warcry videos. They do exist, though. There's just not as many. I do see a lot more just like regular Age of Sigmar games. I do see some Kings of War. I don't know if I've actually seen a Warhammer the Old World video yet, but then again, I haven't actually been looking for that. But I would love to share that content with people so that they can see what the games are about and get a feel of how they really play. 4B is skirmish solo games, or skirmish games that are not as large scale as the other ones I've mentioned. So skirmish solo games would be like Rangers of Shadow Deep, which I know has been done, but having someone do it again is not necessarily a bad thing. I love the game. I'd love to share it. I would also think things like Death Wizards would be interesting. I have seen some videos of that. I've also seen some videos of Space Station Zero. Again, both solo and skirmish versus. I have only seen one person, or I've only come across one person who's done Elder Scrolls Call to Arms, both skirmish and solo. But I want to show solo games because I want to make it normal for people to realize that you're going to lose these games, and that's okay. You just learn from them and move forward. You kind of hope that your character doesn't die, but if he does, you just start over and make a new character. I know that sucks, but that's okay. Losing is normal. You don't have to win every single time, and it actually helps you grow in many different ways. So that would be 4B, is to do skirmish style solo and or versus games. The last one that I would like to do, that would be interesting, and this is 4C, is to play board games that have miniatures. Now, there are a lot of them out there these days, and you can have more than one other person play with you. You can have up to, in some games, 4 to 6 other players, and they can be a lot of fun. I would definitely love to do some Zombicide, the original version, like the post-apocalyptic version. I would like to do Zombicide Black Plague. The fantasy game of Zombicide is fantastic, and I love it in so many different ways, but I don't get to really play it that much anymore. I have Warhammer Quest, the original 1996 Warhammer Quest, that I would love to play, and that is a 4-player game in which you and your buddies get together and you go through a dungeon and you smack a bunch of monsters underground. It's a lot of fun. I have the new Hero Quest. I believe that game is fantastic as well, and that is 4 to 5 players. You need at least one guy to play Zargon, the bad dude, but still, it's still a lot of fun, and I'd love to film doing that. I think that would be great. You know, it would be wonderful for people to see these games in motion and see if that's worth their time or energy. Are there videos done by other YouTubers? Yes. Some are good, some are bad. Again, this is all about the learning curve and trying to make it better and make it interesting for people. I have other games like Village Attacks. I don't think I've seen anyone play that on YouTube. And that's just a, like, defend your castle, but you're the monsters, and everybody who's coming after you is the heroes and the villagers, and that one is a lot of fun as well. So these are just like some more ideas to help promote content within the channel. Now, you're sitting here going, wow, that's a lot of stuff, Scott, and you're talking about only getting 15 to 20 videos in. Yeah, the 15 to 20 videos seems like a lot considering I only did 11 this year, but also when you get other people involved, it's a little bit infectious and you end up doing more than you would otherwise. Yes, it will take some planning. Yes, it might be draining in some cases, but that's okay. I want to put out more content on the channel, and I want the channel to grow. And these are ways I can do it. Will I necessarily do all these points that I'm doing on this rough outline of a plan? Maybe not, but I will do my best to try to get at least some experience and dabble into some of them. And wait, I'm not done. I have one more idea. Plan number 5, or actually more appropriately, bullet point number 5 and a rough outline of a plan for 2025. Hold on as I take a deep breath and take a drink. Okay, I've had my deep breath. I've had a little bit of something to drink, and we're gonna start in on the last bullet point of my rough outline of a plan. I kind of talked about this bullet point in my welcome to my channel video that I did earlier in 2024. It's still very much an idea that I want to do. Um, I would like this channel to also review games, but not just board games and miniature games. I would like to do things that revolve around tabletop role-playing games. As much as I am forward-facing with miniatures on this channel, first and foremost, I've always been a RPGer. I've run games for a very long time. COVID kind of killed that for me. My gaming group was falling apart before COVID, but after COVID, we were not going to get together again. And in fact, I don't talk to a majority of the individuals who used to be in my gaming group. I talk to a couple. And would I like to start running the game again? Sure. But the idea is not to run the game and have it on YouTube. That is not what I want to do. I do not want to do that currently in any way, shape, or form. I'm going to stick to miniature painting tutorials, miniature war games, board games, and reviewing and talking with other role players about games that are currently out on the market or why we do role-playing games. And that's kind of what idea number 5 is just having some frank conversations with people I've known and people I don't know about role-playing games and what makes them great and why we do it and why we're involved into it. So I think that I'm going to start off with having a discussion with a friend of mine who I've already talked to, and he has already agreed to, but we just need to sit down and actually have the conversation and share it with people. Like, my idea for Selnar's Minis, yes, it's Selnar's Minis, but it really is much broader than just miniatures. And I have not been able to explore that aspect of my ideas for the channel. So what does this translate to? Well, I have been lucky enough to have a friend of mine let me borrow the beginner's box for the One Ring rule set, and I've been reading that, and I want to think about it a little bit more before I actually film me talking about a review of this beginner's box. And this is the same friend in which I want to sit down and have a discussion about role-playing games. Not anything too complex or philosophical to start off with, just some very basic stuff. But this plan point number 5, bullet point number 5, is probably further down on the list than 1 through 4. Well, it's definitely lower on the list than 1 and 2. Lower on the list than 4, that's why it's 5, right? But I still would like to try to do it. I would like to sit down and talk to different people about how they feel about role-playing games, what drives them in role-playing games, and what games they love and why. And I'm going to stay away from what games we don't like, because that's a can of worms. Everybody doesn't like it when you talk about what you don't like about what is potentially their favorite game. That is not what I want to do. I want to promote growth and excitement, not negativity and potentially somebody seeing what I'm talking about is unhelpful in their eyes. Now, reviewing products is not always that easy, and I'm trying to figure out how to incorporate pictures, because no one wants to just hear someone talk or see their face necessarily while they talk about a product. It helps if you have pictures. You can see what someone is actually referring to. That part I have to figure out how to do without necessarily invoking YouTube's copyright infringement police. I say police because it's probably just, their AI figuring out that something is in violation of whatever company's copyright laws are. Or not copyright laws, but copyright rights are. So, with that all being said and done, I am going to turn to one last thing that's not part of the plan. So the rough outline of a plan is already long enough, but this is a kind of a notes off to the side section of the plan. I want to involve the community more in the channel as well. So it's great that I want to produce all these things, but it also helps to know what the community wants to see. And the best way to do that, as near as I can tell currently with YouTube, without having a Patreon and a Discord, is the community page. I think that this is one area that doesn't get used nearly as much as one would hope on YouTube. I have seen some channels that use it quite a bit. I have seen some channels that use it intermittently, and there are some channels that don't even have a community page. And I find that to be a shame, because it is a great way for me as a content creator to throw out ideas to see if you are interested or not. Be that in the form of a blog post that you can read and respond to. Be that in the form of a poll, which when I first started this channel I had more responses to, but lately I've been getting less and less, and I don't know why that is currently. Maybe it's just not reaching my subscribers nearly as much as they used to. An example of this is I recently asked how many miniatures should I paint for 2025, and out of the 4 answers that I provided in the poll, I only got one response for the 150, which I'm okay with. I can do 150 since I did in 2023 141, and this year 133. It's only 17 more models for 2025, and with all the plans that I have shared with you on my bullet point plan for 2025, that should be feasible. But I would like to have more responses in that, so that I can help understand what you guys want as content on the channel. So the community page is one way to do that. You can actually leave a comment on the videos on things that you liked or disliked or felt I could do better. I'm a content creator, which means I'm putting myself out there, which means you can, in fact, tell me what you think about it. Now, if you're going to tell me it's crap, I may not respond, and I may just blow it off, and that's perfectly reasonable as well. Not everybody's opinion is going to have the same weight as others, in the sense of, if you're going to just give me negative feedback with no way to make it better, then I'm probably not going to listen. But if you give me constructive criticism, I will listen, because That's the only way I'm going to make things better in the long run. Again, this is me teaching you how to do something, but also me learning how to do a new skill, aka filming and recording. Now, with that in mind, as I said, I would like more interaction. If you know me in real life, and some of you do, and you don't necessarily agree with how I did something, or you have an idea that you don't feel comfortable in sharing on either the comment sections or in the community page, let me know. Just contact me. I know for most of you who don't know me, that's not really an option. I don't have a email listed on the page that gives you a direct contact to me, and that's, I believe, done on purpose by YouTube to keep people from getting hassled. However, if you are interested in having a Discord, not that I have a whole lot of time, as I have said in the past, I do have one, and I can share it, but only if you're really interested. Maybe I will post that in the poll section or the question section and see if people are interested in it. It's a can of worms that I may or may not want to delve into, but it is the future of many things. Like a lot of people who have YouTube channels or Twitches or many of the other social platforms do have a Discord. I'm just not quite ready to open that kind of worms, but I will do so if people are interested in. But I will save that for another time to discuss. And that's pretty much everything that I have for the future of this channel. Now, if you made it this far, I am going to say thank you and I appreciate you. It means you've listened to me talk about and ramble about this channel and the things I want to do. And I'm going to continue to talk a little bit because on the screen I have been painting a miniature. And I guess I should talk a little bit about this miniature, as in one company produced it, where you can find it. There's actually two ways to find this miniature. And, ultimately a turnaround so you can see what the finished product is. So this miniature is produced by Reaper Miniatures. This particular version is a Bones incarnation of it. Original Bones on top of it. I got this from my significant other as a Christmas present many years ago. This is Reaper Miniatures Elf Sorceress from the Dragons Don't Share 2014 edition. Now you can, in fact, buy this edition again, so they've put it back out so more people can get it. I am hoping that it's in the newer, more rigid Bones material that they've been putting out for the last 4 or 5 years. The white, Bones White, is bad in the sense of it holds less detail. I don't know if you can notice it when you're looking at the video, excuse me, that there is some issues with the right side of her face. Like the cheek on this one is somehow been gouged a little bit, and I did not notice how bad it was gouged until after I started painting it, which is fine. It looks okay. It's not the end of the world. It's not terrible. It's not horrifyingly scarring or disfigured, but it is noticeable. And also Bones White was very hydrophobic, so I use Army Painter paints because they actually stick just as well on Bones White material as the paints made by Reaper specifically for painting Bones miniatures. And I'm pretty happy about that. I did prime this one with Vallejo Black airbrush primer, but I hand brushed it on. That also works, but you have to make sure that you wash these miniatures very well with soap before you do that to get all the mold release off. So yes, you can buy this miniature in the box set. You can also buy this miniature by itself from Reaper Miniatures. And that is what this miniature is. So I am finishing up painting this miniature on screen. I probably have another 2 to 3 minutes before it's done. And I don't know if I want to ramble that long. You can fast forward if you want to the end to see the turnaround, or you can just watch me paint without words the remaining part. All right, thank you very much. I will see you in 2025, and you all have a wonderful day. Once again, I appreciate your willingness to watch this channel and listen to me talk. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Please like, comment, and or subscribe to help this channel grow. Later.